Are you confused by the alcohol drinking guidelines in Canada? I mean, on the one hand, we're told to drink alcohol in moderation, while on the other hand, we're told to avoid alcohol or drink very small amounts of it. So, which one is right? Well, if you are confused, you are not alone. I get this question asked to me many times by clients and even friends. Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm a registered dietitian and a certified beer sommelier. And today I'm going to be breaking down the differences between these two guidelines, one from Health Canada and the other from the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction. So if you do drink alcohol, stick around because I think this is something you might find interesting. Okay, so let's start with Health Canada guidelines. So they were recently updated in October of 2024, and they've set some pretty clear limits on low risk alcohol consumption that can help Canadians drink safely while minimizing health risks. Here's what they recommend.
For women, no more than 10 standard drinks per week and no more than 2 drinks on any single day. For men, the limit is 15 standard drinks a week and no more than 3 drinks per day. And here's the crucial point: they also recommend alcohol free days each week to help reduce the long term health risks, and strongly advise that pregnant women, women who are trying to conceive, and those breastfeeding should avoid alcohol completely.
Now let's shift gears and talk about the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction, so otherwise known as the CCSA. Their guidelines approach alcohol a little differently. They focus more on a continuum of risk that's based on how much you drink. And this is recent research that came out within the last couple of years. And also, the World Health Organization uses this as their guideline. So, the CCSA then breaks it down like this.
If you don't drink, you're already in a great spot. There are health benefits to not drinking, like improved sleep and better overall health. At 2 standard drinks or less per week, this level, you're likely to avoid any alcohol related consequences for yourself and others. This is considered low risk drinking. The next level up would be 3 to 6 standard drinks a week. Drinking in this range increases your risk of several types of cancer, such as breast and colon cancer. Even small amounts can increase health risks at this level. The final level is 7 drinks or more per week. This is where risk really starts to rise. Drinking more than 7 drinks a week is linked to a significant increase in the risk of heart disease and stroke. The CCSA also says that with every additional drink, your risk of harm dramatically increases. Even beyond these weekly levels, drinking more than 2 drinks per occasion increases the risks of harm to yourself and others, like injuries, violence, and accidents. They also have clear advice for certain populations. If you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, there is no safe amount of alcohol. And if you're breastfeeding, the safest option really is to avoid alcohol completely. So, the key takeaway from the CCSA is that less alcohol is always better for your health, whether you're drinking occasionally or more regularly.
Okay, so all these guidelines are based on a standard drink size. And so I think before we go any further, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what that is. A standard drink is a measure of how much pure alcohol you're drinking. And it's going to vary based on the concentration of the alcohol in the beverage. So something like pure spirits has 40% alcohol, whereas wine could have 12% alcohol.
In Canada, a standard drink is 17.05 milliliters or 13.45 grams of pure alcohol. This is equivalent to a bottle of beer, so 12 ounces, which is 341 milliliters at 5% alcohol. This gets very complicated because there are different sizes of beer and different alcohol content of beer. It's also equivalent to a bottle of cider, the same size, 12 ounces, same alcohol percent, as well as a glass of wine. So, a glass of wine is 5 ounces or 142 mils and 12% alcohol. So, just so you know, a bottle is about 5 drinks. And then a shot glass of spirits, which is 1.5 ounces or 43 milliliters at 40% alcohol. So, why do Health Canada and the CCSA have such different advice? Health Canada's guidelines are focused on moderation. They aim to help people enjoy alcohol safely while limiting risks. Their guidelines are about low risk drinking for the general population and encouraging alcohol free days to reduce harm. On the other hand, the CCSA takes a much more precautionary approach, treating alcohol as a carcinogen and emphasizing its connection to various serious health risks. Their message is clear: the fewer the drinks, the better. For them, moderation still carries a risk, and abstinence is the safest option for many people, especially if they're in a high risk group.
Well, with these two guidelines being so different, it's no wonder people are confused. Which one are you supposed to believe? On the one hand, we have Health Canada's moderate alcohol intake guidelines, and then on the other hand, we've got the more cautious CCSA's guidelines. But here's the thing: risk associated with alcohol depends on a lot of factors. So it depends on your health, your family history, and your habits. So if you're someone that has a family history of addictions or cancer or heart disease, then maybe the CCSA's guidelines might make a little bit more sense for you, because they emphasize the harm that alcohol can cause over time, especially when we drink to excess. But if you're generally healthy and enjoy the occasional drink, then maybe Health Canada's guidelines are more suited to you. So they would allow you to drink alcohol in a more responsible way. At the end of the day, these guidelines are designed to help you make informed choices. So the decision is ultimately yours based on all the information that you gather. As a dietitian and a beer sommelier, I always advocate for moderation and mindful drinking. And of course, as I said before, you gathering information to make the best decision that you can make for you. There is a place for alcohol in many people's lives, but understanding how it impacts you, that's key to you making this decision. I also want to say that alcohol-free days are also recommended by both guidelines. So it's a great way to keep your drinking in check, and it's important to recognize when you're drinking out of habit as opposed to drinking out of enjoyment. And lucky for us, there's a lot of alcohol-free options out there that have improved over the years. We can get de-alcoholized beer, which I, as a beer sommelier, have definitely tried many of them, and maybe I'll do another video on that. There's also de-alcoholized wine, and now I've seen some de-alcoholized gin and vodka and things like that. So and of course we have the dry January. So it seems to be that it's getting a little bit more popular nowadays, and there are many more options for you to choose from. So what do you think about these guidelines? Which ones do you follow? Are you more cautious like the CCSA, or are you more on the side of moderation like the Health Canada guidelines? Drop a line in the comments section. I'd love to hear. And if you did like this video and found it informative, please like and subscribe so that I can bring you more content just like this. Until next time, cheers.